Okay, polygamous sealings and LDS church sealings and ceremonies in the temple. Now, I've never been through the temple, so I don't know what their sealing process is like. I've been told, however, that the polygamous sealings and the polygamous endowment is very similar or identical to the early on when the LDS church very first established. Then the polygamous ceremonies are supposed to be very similar, if not spot on, to that. The biggest difference in the polygamous ceremony is the last wife to have gotten married. When you are actually being sealed together over the altar, that wife will take the new wife's hand and put it in the husband's hand and give her to the husband. That way she has now fulfilled the law of Sarah of giving another woman to her husband. So this can be a very traumatic experience, especially if you were the last wife and your husband hasn't gotten a new wife in several years. Then this can be a very traumatic experience for these women to have to go through, because you're the one who literally has to put this new woman's hand into your husband's hand and give her away, or give him to her and give her to him. And so it can be very traumatic on these women. There's a lot of compassion for the last woman who goes through this ceremony. And a lot of times the last wife and the new incoming wife don't always get along that well for a while. It takes some time for them to heal, because there is a lot of jealousy, there is a lot of hurt and upset in that process. And so it's really tragic to watch that, because there's a lot of trauma that goes on around that. In fact, I'm going to create a whole nother video, because when I got married, there was a couple of women in there who were entering a plural situation, and I'm going to talk about that in another video, because it's a very traumatic experience for these women. It's, they want to say that it's a blessing and that it's a beautiful thing, and sometimes it can be, but if you're not in complete harmony with your husband about this, and whoever really truly can be, but if you're not in complete harmony with your husband about this, it's a trauma experience more than it is a beautiful blessing.